Welcome to the I Love Wine and Dogs podcast, created, produced, and hosted by Heidi Hubner, with engineering and production by Timothy Stone Dancer Coleman. This show was created to celebrate good wine, amazing pets, and people from around the world who are doing great things in their local communities. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of I Love Wine and Dogs. We are here with our guest today, Vanessa, but I first want to introduce everybody yet again to the amazing creator, hostess with the mostest, and producer of our show, Miss Heidi Hubner, all the way out there in LA. Heidi, take it away.
So welcome to the show, everybody. I'm so excited to always be with Tim and catch up with my brother. He's got so much going on. And my amazing friend, Vanessa Giorgio. She's a one in a bazillion. She's got so much good things going on and has been a part of my life for a very long time. I saw Odin, her dog, in the background. He's in and out of camera because Odin just does what Odin wants to do. He's amazing, and he's really good friends with my dog Ripley. So I had to lock Ripley out of the room, or he would have been like, "Where's Odin? Where's Odin? Where's Odin?" And
we should give them their own podcast.
It would be entertaining. But so Tim, tell me what's going on, because it's even more than last time when we spoke.
It is. So first, I want to say a huge just shout out and honor to my father, who has already transitioned. He's no longer with us, but today he would have been 87. And it is because of him that I even got into podcasting, because I remember as a kid, he spent over 30 years as a gospel radio DJ, aside from like all the other things that he was doing, which is kind of like where I get this whole multitasking life from. And I used to go with him to the radio station. And this is back when, they were spinning vinyl. So like this has been like from a while ago. And so I would just listen to him on the radio and be so excited. And then other days, we would be playing him on the radio in the house on Sunday evenings, while we like moved about the house, just hearing Dad on the radio. And so I just big shout out to Reverend Donald L. Coleman Sr., retired Vietnam veteran, and served our country. He served his community as a nonprofit executive and all those good things. So, yay, Dad.
Happy heavenly birthday.
Amen. Thank you for that. So aside from that, Heidi, listen, I know that I had been telling you that I had finally put on my big boy underwear and started doing auditions again. And so in early October, like late September, early October, I did a show called The Last Grain of Rice. It was an off-Broadway show. We ran for a week. And I got to tell you, in my mind, when I started doing auditions again, I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to get back on Broadway. I'm ready right now." And I'm telling you, just the rehearsals for that show and those 5 performances, like, laid me out. Like, I was like, okay, I got to get my stamina back. I got to get more water in my system. Like, I got to get myself together. But it was phenomenal because they were not able to get the music rights to some of the music that they wanted to use. So it allowed a space for me to write original music for the show.
Wow.
And I have always wanted to write and also be able to perform my original music on a New York stage. So that fulfilled like so many things on my little checkbox list. And then this last weekend, I just finished an off-Broadway show. It's called a 5-day equity showcase. So it means all the cast comes in. We rehearse all day for like 3.5 days, and then we start performances right away. So from last Friday through Sunday, we did all of our rehearsals. We did 2 shows Monday, 2 shows Tuesday for industry professionals because they want to take the show to Broadway. It's called Elysian Fields, and it's all about letters that have been discovered between Abraham Lincoln and his lover. And they used to write back and forth about this place, Elysian Fields, that is a place where you can go and freely love the person that you're with without being judged. And so I'm trying now, I don't want to jinx myself, I'm trying now to take a little bit of a break, refocus myself, like, yeah, okay, because my goal is I gave myself 12 months to get myself in alignment to be back on Broadway. And, I just want to say before I stop, it's just, I am a firm believer that purpose has no age and your gifts never expire. So for anybody out there who is still like with that dream in their heart, that thing that wakes them up, that little voice that still says, but you know, you should still try this, you know, you should still do this, you know, you always wanted to do XYZ. I want to encourage you to keep going. And I want to let you know that on the other side of all of that is the joy and the peace and the happiness that it's everything you could imagine. Go for your dreams.
Amen. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. It is so true.
Yes.
It's so true. And you just have to take the fear out of it.
That's
Out
right.
of any equation. I mean, Vanessa and I have had many conversations of different types of fear and like, are you in or are you out? Like, get both feet out. Stop with one foot in the pond.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we really have to do it afraid, right? Like if you can't shake the fear completely, use it, lean into it, but still do that thing, because the hardest step is step one. That's it. There's no other mystery. There's nothing else like wickedly like profound. It's just the step one.
Vanessa, you look like you want to say
Well,
something.
if I may, I think step one is the only way to begin. But I feel like for things that I'm involved with right now, I did step one and then I exhale and I'm like, I started. And then I'm, then getting me to continue on, getting me to dig in deeper, getting me to be consistent with what I want to create starts to, I start to back away in the sense of if you are a creative, but you have a day job and you have a life and you have it's not even a day job. I have a career that's amazing that I love, but I also want to do this new thing that I'm doing, which is called V Talks. So it's like TED Talks, only V Vanessa. And I launched and I got picked up on a platform. And now I need to start recording more. And here I am. I'm just so busy and I have so many things. So I agree with you. Step one, but it takes hard work to make a shift, to go back, like you're saying, back to what you knew, or for you to launch into something new. And so there has to be like a recommitment or a contract that you keep reiterating with yourself. Or it's really easy to lose time. A month goes by, 2 months goes by, and then you're like, oh yeah, that.
A contract with yourself. That's really brilliant. And I want to highlight, Heidi, I know you have something to say to that, because you made that contract work for us in this show.
It is, yes. For me, I had we always laugh. We need 50 hours in the day.
Right.
We all do. Some people I know don't. They're like, 24 is good, man. I'm all good. 8 hours of work and the rest, whatever. And that's fine. But the joy that I have in doing this is important to me. Like, this is one of the things I look forward to, because it's sharing what my friends do with other people.
Right.
Right. And then I don't know what will come of this from somebody listening to something. But Vanessa, I will circle back to what you were saying. I am not great at social media. Thank God for Tim, because he does all the hard stuff. Like,
right.
We get to talk and then he makes this perfect, right? And edits and then posts it. And then I have to follow up and do the follow up. And I have slacked in that because I'm tired. Right. And I'm like, so this part is like, yay, the talking and recording. And then I need to keep kicking myself going, Heidi, you've got to get your social media
right,
posting your stuff and working on that. So see, this is my little,
yeah,
come on, and for me, I have to schedule. So I need to schedule in my day planner. This is the day that I do that, instead of, I'm going to do this tomorrow, or like, I'm going to do this right now. I need to schedule time to follow up
Me
on
too.
the content.
Absolutely true. 100% true. Vanessa, you were gonna say something?
Well, it's funny. I do an intention in my studio every week. So we work on an intention, and I pick it up on Fridays, and we post it on in the studio on Saturdays. And this, oh God, it's too big.
Own up. I see it.
Own up, yes.
So what you just did, Heidi, is just that. I say, yeah, I'm down, I'm into it, it's great, and I've slacked off on, and I'm like, that's why the intentions have to do with me. So that's what inspires me to put them, and that's the same thing. I shot four segments, they got picked up, just got the word this morning, and I should already have other ones going. I've recorded them, but I haven't shot them. I haven't done all the things. And so I think that's the trickery of this busy life we all lead. It's so busy. Like, you gave yourself, what'd you say, 12 months to take off, Tim? Okay.
Yes.
So you gave a deadline to yourself. And I think
That's right.
crucial. Because,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, we need to be accountable to ourselves.
But we do all of this sort of stuff when we have, like you say, careers and day jobs. We do all of this sort of stuff in those roles already. And one of the biggest wins for me was like, wait a minute, why am I separating? Because I still have a day job as well. And I'm like, why am I separating all of my operational acumen that I would use during the day for someone else's organization or company
Totally.
and not applying that to my own? I am my own business. I am my own company. I am an entity, and I need to take care of myself as such. I did it when I came out of the cornfields of Nebraska. I went to school and I made it to Broadway at a very early age. So if that impossible situation could happen, I'm still in New York City, one train ride away from all these auditions. Why can this not happen again?
Awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're all, and we're not, 20 anymore.
That's right.
And, we have our commitments and we have our responsibilities. But I think I'm going to say one of the main things is prioritizing. So I'm a big social butterfly, and I do a lot of social things. And I'm starting to have to pull back and pull back. That's free time that could be spent shooting, that could be spent furthering this new path. I'm training autistic adults. And it's incredible because I think autistic people have so much to teach us, because I've just got my second client, and they're always in the moment. So they're never thinking about yesterday, and they're never thinking about tomorrow. They are in the moment, what's happening right now. And we all say that you should be in the moment, but we struggle. We are worried about that. It's happening next week. And then we're worried about what happened yesterday. So I'm starting to unearth all of their gifts for us. Ooh. And let myself go, oh, here's the teacher. I'm not the teacher. I'm the teacher in some areas. But, Eli and Naomi, they're teaching me. I'm like, it's pretty fascinating. And so that's just a new thing, which of course it's so easy to lean into, well, I can't do my things. I have all this new stuff going on. But that's not true.
So I love how organic welcome to an insight of who Vanessa is, people. I don't even need to do an introduction because this gave you a very good taste of who she is. Okay. But I do want to so Vanessa, you're from California originally, right?
Born and raised, LA, born and raised.
And so I met you when you still have your business, but Lotus Kitty, which was hybrid spin and yoga and weights, these amazing classes. But I mean, back up. So here, you're a kid, you're a teenager. Did you go to college? Did you not go to college? What did you want to do? what brought you to now? And just kind of let people know, who are you?
Yeah. I always wanted to be an actor. That was my thing from little kid on. I booked now and then, but I never booked enough to fully support myself with acting. So in my 30s, I just opened myself up because I always had a side hustle so that I could go on auditions. I did a million low budget movies. I did some really big commercials, and that's all neat, but they were spread out. They weren't rolling consistently. So fitness was just always something I did, and that just kind of, I started taking a spin class, and my friend said, that weird thing you're doing in Hollywood, there's one in the Valley, and I live in the Valley. So I was like, oh, I'll check out the studio. I'd only been doing it about 6 months. And the owners, after just a few weeks, the owner's wife came up to me and said, you should teach. And I said, yeah, I'm an actor. I'm like, don't be silly. Like, that's sweet, but, I'm an actor. And I was 36 then. And so she said, well, just put a mix together. We didn't call them playlists. And it was like a mixtape, because my first things were on cassette. So I started doing that, and I taught my first class, and I've never stopped since then. So again, this was divine guidance, just going, here, try this. And then after a few years, my best friend was like, you take yoga all the time. Why don't you teach yoga? And I'm like, oh God, no, that's for like pros and people that have been studying their whole life. And she's like, you should just do it. And I was like, okay. So I went to Bally's, which is a gym that if you're not from California, you wouldn't remember because it's gone now. And I made a fake certificate that I was going to school. And I printed it and went to the gym and showed them my certification to teach yoga because I'm a damn liar. And I started teaching, and my friend's like, you should really get certified. And I was like, yeah, I guess I should. So I did. Went to a 5-month course, 5 days a week, as opposed to the weekend courses that came out afterward. We're like, you're certified, go.
Yeah.
So then there was that. Then someone said, I want arms like yours. And I was like, I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have any training in that. She's like, well, just tell me what you do. And she was my first client. I charged $40 an hour. And then I started training from then on, and I've always done that. So it's funny. I worked so hard to be an actor. I went to so many classes. I did showcases. I did everything. I was in plays. I did it all. And it was always like a struggle. It wasn't ever easy. I wasn't a great auditioner. I think I was a pretty good actor, but auditions freaked me out. That's a lot of really famous actors say, if I would have had to audition, I wouldn't have made it. So I started just shifting, and I still did acting. Now acting became the side hustle, and this became my career.
But then you put together the hybrid fitness. And so how did that come about?
Because I always did both things. That's where that came from. And so my nickname's Kitty. It's been my nickname my whole life. And my friend Terry Davis, when I got certified in yoga, said, oh, now you're the Lotus Kitty. And I was like, yeah. And that was my card. It said Lotus Kitty because she said that. But yeah, so that's what made me hybrid, because I really think one thing all the time is just not so great. You get used to it. Your body gets used to it. And, yoga's way harder than spinning.
I just remember that in the day. You had the speed control, and if you needed to, when I used to teach aerobic, it's like, here, speed it up on this. I mean, these kids, people have no idea how easy they have it. I mean,
right.
God.
Right.
But your music and your classes, I'm always like, during COVID, I rented a spin bike, and I was singing to the top of my lungs. I still do in class. But it's great. And that's, her personality and her love of doing it and the music. Tim, you would love it. It's just, it's the best.
I remember giving myself permission, because I used to be interested in yoga, but like, for so many different reasons, afraid of it, like kind of just scared to walk in the door and actually do it. And one day I said, you know what? It's a Groupon. I got a discount. I'm going in. I'm gonna make it work. And I went into the class, and it changed my life. And that yoga instructor,
Yes.
Gillian Bell, she's still like my sister to this day, a best friend, and we worked together to get her program into at that time 17 different schools in New York City public schools, where the students would come out of day school, and they would go into a healing after school kind of program. And we brought in other things, right? Like they were still allowed to play and do some of these other things, but it all started and ended with
Wow. Cool.
yoga, and it was very, very powerful. So I applaud you for being able to stick to that, but also add in other things that are also good for your mind, body, spirit.
Right. Yeah. I think, well, yoga was a seated practice for 4,000 years.
Right.
So all this movement that we do, it was about meditation and it was about gazing inward.
Yeah.
And Ashtanga, which blew up here in the 90s, which was power yoga, was for young men to go to war. So that's why it was
Cool.
so rigorous. So I think if you're not working on all of it, then and you just have one that's way ahead of the rest, you're going to be suffering, and so will the people around you. So it's kind of everything, that needs to be balanced.
Yeah.
I always say this, and again, Tim, going back to you just talking about the teacher, the yoga teacher you were going to, and then how those classes were happening. I just feel like this type of wellness needs to be in curriculum in schools everywhere.
Absolutely.
It has to be.
The only kind of true wealth is internal. So it doesn't matter what you own. It matters who you are. There's Amazon boxes to the ceiling every day in front of your house. And it's like, how much more stuff do you need?
Right.
Doesn't matter what you have. This is where it is.
Yeah.
And it's either there or not. That's one thing about you, Heidi. You are always upbeat. You're always, on ready to go. You're always invested. You're always
Yes.
inspired. Every time I see you, there's a big smile. There's an open arms. There's a hug. And so that's because that's in it. That you can't buy that. There's nothing out there that's going to give you that.
Yeah, I have to echo that. You do walk in love, and that is a skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like not a lot of people walk in love.
Right.
That's major, and it is impactful, and I fully agree with what Vanessa's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are gonna make me cry.
It's love and its exuberance for life.
I literally every day am like, I am so grateful. I love life. Can't wait. I love what I do at work. Is my commute great? No, but I'm happy. But it's like, sure,
That's a whole podcast. You're a commute.
You know what? I have to go to the airport, but it is. I really just, I love life, and I'm so happy. And I'm like, again, I want to do everything, and I also have to learn how to slow down because I can't. It's like I want to do everything, but I appreciate you guys saying that because, working with volunteers, they're amazing people who've done amazing things in life, and I appreciate and respect them. I think so much, and I just want to love people.
Have you ever heard about the Sausalito Canyon Vineyard? Visit SausalitoCanyon.com to learn more about the history, love, and vision for the Sausalito Canyon Vineyard. And don't forget to let them know that you heard about them on the I Love Wine and Dogs podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So we are here with our guest, Vanessa Giorgio. So Vanessa, I want to kind of move forward. Do we want to talk about the soup cleanse?
Sure.
Okay.
So I make soup for people. You know, it's not actually off topic because it's health.
Yeah.
So it's 10 days and it's started it in 2012. I don't advertise. It's all word of mouth and it's all people telling people. It's 10 days. It's pureed or cooked really far down, almost Campbell soup status, like softness. And it's easy to digest. It builds up the good flora in your intestine. And we take there's no sugar in anything. So it strips the candida out of your system. And we used to be fat burners. That's what kind of, that was a human thing. But now we consume so much sugar. And I'm not only talking about actual sugar, I'm talking about things that turn to sugar in your system, that our body doesn't go after the visceral fat. And that's what surrounds your organs. That's that tire in your belly and in your back. And there's no reason for our bodies to go after it because we give it sugar for energy. And so it stops doing that. So when you strip all that out, it has to go for that because all it has is vegetables and organic meat or just no meat if you're a vegetarian. It's a different flavor every day. It's 2 quarts a day. And by the end, you're not even finishing that because part of the reason we overeat is because we can have whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want. So very few of us eat because we're physically hungry. We eat because it's dinner. We eat because we're celebrating. We eat because we're sad. We eat so it's all based in emotions. So if you go to any nutritionist, they're usually going to go to the emotional state of the patient, because that's usually what's ailing. Like I said, all those things link together. And that's where the real problem is with overeating, undereating, sugar eating. Sugar's the worst drug on the market right now, and it's legal. And we are all addicted. So, so it's 10 days. I have most people do it a couple times a year. Some people buy my jars for supplement, meaning they eat a meal and then they have soup at another part of the day. And that's just another part of feeding people. I love to cook, always have. So that's from my mother. We're Italian, and I learned really young. So that's where that started. And
I was going to say, some of the stuff you mentioned in terms of the events when people eat the most, right? That's cultural, right? Like that's also deep in a lot of different cultures. Is that when we get together, what do? We eat and we talk and we laugh. When we are together,
you visit someone, what do? You bring stuff. You bring pastry. You bring goodies. You bring. That's. I'm training an Armenian woman now in her 70s, and she's like, "It's our culture," and I was like, "Okay, but stop. There's no way for me to achieve anything. If you're doing this, and her daughter's about to have a baby, so she wants to be strong, to be able to assist because the daughter's got to go back to work." And I was like, but in her brain, it's part of being Armenian, and it's part of being Italian, and it's part of being Mexican, and it's part of being African American. You name it, eating is a very big central thing, and I get it, and I love to eat, and I like to celebrate with food, but there has to be a balance.
So Vanessa, let me ask you, and I have done her cleanses and I do supplement the soups and I love them. It's like, that's my no-brainer at work. It's like, yay, I've got lunch. Don't have to think about it, or dinner or breakfast sometimes. Should you eat when you're hungry? Because somebody said, I'm like, why? When I get to work, it's early and I don't want to eat at 6:30 in the morning.
Me neither.
And I was like, and then I'm like, well, okay, I'll eat a little bit later because you're supposed to have breakfast, right? Breakfast is, and then I'm like, I'm eating when I'm not hungry. Stop eating and eat when you're hungry. So if I eat my yogurt and berries at 11, that's okay, right?
Right. I agree. And if you go to Europe, there's not as many obese people, and they have an espresso for breakfast. They don't have eggs and potatoes and toast and jam and an orange juice and a coffee they don't do that. So there's something to it. Actually, in India, there's no such thing as breakfast food, by the way. They don't have breakfast food. They don't have eggs. They don't have any of that. It's Indian food. That's what you get. So, and in the Asian cultures too, there's no eggs and potatoes and bacon and, pancakes, and there's none of that. So yes, I think we have to start breaking down some of you just have to understand when you're physically hungry or when you're eating because you were told to eat at this time, because it's lunchtime, because you're sad. At night, 10 o'clock at night, my clients are like, I just get a little piece of cheese. And I'm like, really? Because you're starving at 10 o'clock and you had dinner at 6? I'm like, And is a piece of cheese really like sate you as far as you're starving? So it's not that. It's just, it's anxious behavior. It's just, something, I need a little sugar. I need something sweet. Well, don't use need, because that's not true. Use the word want, because you're making that decision. It's not because you need something sweet after you ate something salty, after you ate. Just like,
we can find excuses and justify everything, can't we?
100%.
100%. And I think the cleaner you are, the more your body reacts to it. And that sucks, because not last night, the night before, there was no way I was hungry. No way. And at 9:30, I was just like, I'm going to have yogurt. My friend makes organic homemade yogurt with a handful of blueberries and then a little bit of agave. Okay? Had a full sugar headache at 1 a.m. I woke up out of my sleep and I'm like, that was nothing. I used to have a hot fudge sundae. The first step is deciding you're unhappy. Make a change. That's the first step. But people think the first step is I'm going to eat a 100-calorie cookie because someone told me I can do it. Everybody wants an easy way out. It's lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not fast, and that's what really sucks. Same with self-realization, same with spirituality. It doesn't happen fast.
That's what every human needs to do, is give themselves a little bit of grace.
Right.
Because habits are very difficult to break. But to create a habit, right? To create a habit where you wake up every morning grateful that you woke up. Grateful, just that. I'm not talking about whatever cars and how. I'm not talking about any of the things. Just grateful to be alive, to have another set of experiences. You have to form that habit of waking up and shutting down everything that might hit you. Oh my God, the alarm's going off. Oh, I got to get to that email I never sent. What about when I got to get these kids ready for school or for this? Stop for a second. Create a habit of 30 seconds of gratefulness and let it grow from there.
Well, and you have to be in it for the long haul. That's owning up. Own up that you're miserable. Then go from there.
Here at Tangent, we explore the possibilities of cool climate white wines rooted in the Edna Valley and the Central Coast. These wines challenge expectations and prove that every day can and should be a new adventure. Our innovative spirit is channeled into everything we produce, from colorful cans to screw-capped bottles to our wine itself. We deliver wines with the promise of being vibrant, fresh, and delightfully different. Find us on Instagram and Facebook, or call us at 805-269-8200.
So Vanessa, the opportunity now, let's talk about that. What is this opportunity?
This opportunity is called Mindatorium. It is a platform that I'm sure they hope to be like Hulu. I don't know that they're going to achieve that, but it's all transformational content. There's no murder. There's movies, there's music videos, there's speakers, there's all the things, but none of it is violent. None of it is, it's all transformational to assist the watcher and the person and whoever to grow into a more peaceful state. They want to bring a fitness aspect to it. They probably will, but that wasn't where they started. Now that it's starting to form. But this is they want to make movies that are, transformational or that are inspiring or that are, because the whole entertainment industry has got a lot of killing, you guys. There's a lot of murder and there's a lot of news that is about everything awful that's happening in the world. And then people are like, why is it so crazy out there? Well, because you're eating it all day. You're eating it. We used to watch the news twice a day. Now it's all day. I know it's happening in the world. Pick something you want to donate to, do it. But we can't keep eating it, you guys. We're just turning into it.
I love that. Years ago, I said, I want a show that's all about positivity. Let's talk spotlight, good people doing good things. Kids, yeah, once in a while the news is like, look at what this kid did. They're so kind and they came up with this thing and raised $2,000, which is awesome. That's like once in a blue moon. Like,
that's probably 1% of the news.
But I think if there's a place where people can go and start learning and sharing, and I don't know, Tim, there could be some synergy with your projects and what you've done. And maybe you and Vanessa, you have each other's information. Please connect.
We're looking for content providers.
Okay, hello, right here.
Oh, I would love that.
Right
I would love
here.
So, and the thing is, you have to throw the dice. I don't know if they're going to do this. I don't know if it's going to be the biggest thing ever, but I do know there's an opportunity, even though they're very grassroots and little, that one of these big companies goes, oh, that's a good idea. Let's buy that.
That's right. That's what they do.
It would be happy because they're going to buy this, take it away from them and buy it and then really do it. Like, do it.
Hold, please. Because we didn't talk about the wine. Vanessa's a champagne lover. Is this, so I said, you can present the champagne. Is this the one is this going to be our champagne for the show?
This will be our champagne for the show. However, this is really good for mimosas. So there you go. Because you don't get a headache just because you're having mimosas.
What is the hardest thing about what you do?
Hardest thing about what I do? Attaching myself to other people's goals. You say that you want this, and I do everything in my power to make that happen, but you might not follow through or work as hard as I think you should or blah, blah, blah. And then I get a little feisty. I got feisty this morning with some of my people in a class. But I think I'm getting better at that. I used to be a much more tough teacher, and I'm softened over the years and understand that, yes, you would like that. Here are the tools. And now it's up to you, and I have to detach from what you said you wanted. And, so that's, I think the hardest part is I just want everybody to prosper and, be stoked and be in love with themselves. Otherwise, my job's easy. People like my suit. People love to work out. They come. Even the ones that don't, still are fun. And, I get to be myself. So it's a pretty good job. The autistic kids are this new ingredient that's just fascinating me.
So how did that come to you? I think this is so great.
So I did a new moon circle, and I was looking I actually said different avenues of income. That's what I asked the new moon, because on new moons, I facilitate full moons, new moons, sound baths, whatever. You want to launch something on a new moon. Whereas in a full moon, you're kind of getting rid of, or you're closing, a chapter or blah, blah. And I asked for that. And weirdly, I don't know, a week later, an old student called me, and her son, both her sons used to come to my studio, and she just said, Eli just graduated college. He's 24. And she's given this kid every opportunity, and not everybody has the finances to do what she's done for Eli. He didn't even speak for 7 years. So he was severely autistic and epileptic. And just all the things. And he just graduated college. It's a particular college. Yeah. And she got him an apartment and said, I want to put together a team to teach him how to live. the skill of living. Because you guys all learn the things you learn, like shaving, or all the things that we learned either from our parents, or you just picked it up, or you just figured it out. And that's natural. And it's not for him. So now he has his own apartment. One woman is helping him with his vocation. She got him a job at the, we have a thing here called Travel Time. It's the zoo, Travel Town. The zoo has old trains, and he wants to be a docent. He has a great voice. So she got him a job there. One girl does regular skills like doing your laundry, unloading the dishwasher, shaving, just all the things that we just did when we moved out. We just did them, or not, and your place was a disaster. But and then I'm health. We work out, and I teach him how to cook for himself. So it's this little team. It's state funded. The state is starting to recognize that you can't just have these programs for kids, because what happens when they get to their mid-20s? What do? Stick them in a basement and let them play video games? Because they will. Or you let them be in society and be, contributing. So
That's awesome.
She's doing this, and it's amazing. And he's amazing.
So Vanessa, I'm going to put this in your brain. Tim and I had this conversation with another guest. And one of the things is there are a lot of communities, they cannot afford to do classes or pay for things. And it was, how could we put together small 2 or 3 minute meditation, a thought of the day, and have it be accessible? I think Tim would have a platform to help put it out there. But I know you have a lot of things you've taped, or anyway, I just want to throw that out to you guys to think about.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not hard, but just something, a go-to place. And maybe this new platform that you're on is a go-to place.
That is, but if you have a place to post it, Tim, then I would be more than happy to donate, 15-minute workout, 15-minute meditation. I don't have to get paid for that.
Oh my God, that would be phenomenal. And the cool thing about this type of thing that we're talking about is it's going to exist. People are going to find it as they find it. But it's not like you have to put this in your life every day. You've got to make a new 15-minute. Like, you could make one and it could be viewed 1 million times. So thank you, Heidi. I mean, how do you know so many great people, Heidi? Like, what?
She is. She attracts us. Yeah. So,
I probably because I'm such a busybody and I'm always like over here and there. And it's like I meet people. I've met some of Vanessa's friends and I'm like, oh my, like connected with them. And, because that's what I love doing. This is what I love doing. So that's, it's all part of it. So I definitely want you guys to talk offline and noodle with each other with some ideas. Okay. And, this is what it's all about. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for being on the show and for all the cool stuff that you do and have done and will continue to do. And I love that you're my friend and literally live 3 minutes away from me. All right, Tim, do you have anything else?
I just want to thank everybody who continues to support the show, who continues to spread the word about the show. Listen, don't just like the show, reshare it on your platform. Let others experience the show, right? If you believe in it, of course, we love you. We want you to come back. We thank you for the likes. We thank you for the comments. We thank you for all of the love that you send in emails and all those sorts of things. But we'd love it if you would just repost the episodes that are your favorites so that other people can find out about the I Love Wine and Dogs podcast. You can find us on all the platforms at I Love Wine and Dogs, all one word, all lowercase. Thank you, Heidi, for creating this opportunity for us. And that's it from the Bronx.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Take care until next time.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the cast, producers, or any affiliated organizations. The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice.